Okay, so once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And as usual, let us start from some questions, if you have any.
Vivek, I have to finish the final quiz, so today I think
Okay.
that's the reason I don't have any questions today.
Yeah, not a problem. We can do one thing. You can either drop a mail, or if there are more questions on that, I hope it will not, because the explanations are provided there.
Yes.
You can
Absolutely.
always drop me a mail and I will respond to you. And if required, we can have 1 hour of session also sometime.
Sure. Thank you.
Also, as you suggested, Vivek, if you can create that LinkedIn group, then we can post our questions and discuss.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so no question. But I saw only very few people have attempted the quiz. On Saturday, Sunday, people are not getting time.
Which one? Which one?
The last three. The third one nobody has attempted. The last two also only 2 or 3 people have attended.
So today is Sunday here, Vivek, so we are planning to.
Why is it starting? Okay.
Yeah. So usually I get time around after 6 o'clock or something. That's the time I sit for this. So I'm planning to do it today.
Okay. Anyway, not a problem. Whenever you have any problem, yeah, Jira.
Problem. Go ahead. Wasn't important. I will finish the last quiz today as well.
Okay. So what I was telling, that if you have any question anytime, you can always drop this, or I will create this LinkedIn group. You can drop the question there in the LinkedIn. I will respond to it. And maximum case, if many people have many questions, then we can have an hour session also. We can schedule it on some day which is most convenient to most of the people. Okay, so today there is no knowledge area to discuss. So I will consolidate all the things, whatever we have discussed for last 1 month. And to consolidate that, I have this diagram to consolidate and run through a project, or the way the project. So this diagram actually show a flow in a project from initiation to the closure. So here we have initiation. This is planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. And these arrow are the feedback. It shows that the planning, execution, and monitoring, they are not in sequence as such, but they are in parallel. Though initially things start from planning and then go to the execution and control, but after you move to the control, it is again planning, execution, and control. And this circle keeps going on till the time all the things are ready. Yes, Rajesh, I will have to zoom in. Okay, so in a project, the story starts from preparing a project charter, and then so the diagram is mainly based on the artifacts which are getting produced in the project. Once you have a stakeholder register and project charter, you go ahead and prepare a project management plan. That project management plan is comprising of scope, time, cost, quality, HR, risk, procurement, requirement, configuration, risk response plan altogether. When you're preparing the plan, then as per the plan, you start with, on the scope side, gathering some requirements and preparing a scope statement. Now, this, in some cases, the scope statement can happen before the requirement document, or requirement document can be created before you define the scope statement. When you define the requirement document, you have to prepare a requirement traceability matrix so that you can track all the requirements throughout the project and ensure that none of the requirements is getting missed at any stage of the project life cycle. Once you are ready with the scope statement, you prepare a work breakdown structure which becomes the base for the rest of the planning in the project. And when you create work breakdown structure, you also create a work breakdown WBS dictionary which contains the details of each and every work package in work breakdown structure. Once the scope is complete, so once you are ready with the work breakdown structure, the scope statement and WBS create the scope baseline. Once the scope baseline is frozen, you start scheduling, and as one first action on the scheduling is you take work package and identify all the activities need to be performed for work package to complete the work package. Then prepare a network diagram which is showing the dependency among the activities. You estimate the required resources for each activity. You estimate the duration of each activity and prepare a schedule. So you have a network diagram, you have required resources, you have duration estimates, you can prepare a schedule. Once you have network diagram or you have all the activities, you can also estimate the cost. And this cost and the schedule will help us to prepare a project budget. Okay, so once you have project budget, you start working on the resources. how to plan your resources on the project. You prepare a staffing plan, who will come on board at what time and what time he will get released from the project. All the training needs of the resources. And you also prepare a responsibility assignment matrix. That is RACI. Responsibility, accountability, support and informing. Consult, or sometimes support, sometimes consult. You prepare a risk register by identifying all the risks. Do a qualitative analysis, and for high ranking risk we perform qualitative analysis to understand the real impact in terms of money, in dollar terms, how much, if this risk get materialized, going to impact the project. And based on that, we prepare a risk response plan. You look into the deliverables of the project and see that if something needs to be procured from outside. In that case, you take a make or buy decision, probably buy decision, and then start preparing a statement of work for procurement. You prepare a procurement document, could be RFP, request for proposal, request for quotation, request for bid, request for information, invitation for bid, any of that known with different names, and prepare a selection criteria so that you can select a seller who can supply the items. Then you move into execution. In execution, the first thing you do is to acquire the project team, because that's what is required on the project manager's side, so that people can come on board and start working on the project deliverables. The team execute the project, work or start working on the project delivery as per the project plan. As project manager, you put efforts to develop your project team, manage the project team, manage the stakeholders, and ensure that the quality is being maintained during the execution, and conduct the procurement. When the team works on the execution, it produces deliverables. You measure the quality metrics. You gather the project performance data, generate project status reports, and generate change requests. You move into monitoring and control. As part of this, when you measure the quality matrix is measured. Once the deliverable is produced, it is validated for the correctness, and then it goes to the scope, that is the validated scope, and it is validated for the completeness. Once you have the project status report as part of the communication plan, as per the communication, you report the performance of the project. All the change requests go through the change control process. In the monitoring and control, you control the cost using EVM, control the schedule using EVM. You continuously on a repeated basis monitor the risk and see their quantitative, qualitative analysis that and the response plan if they are still valid, and make necessary changes. Make changes in the scope, and as the procurement is happening, you also monitor that the procurement is happening as per the contract. So as in the execution, change request is produced or change request is generated, it goes back into the planning to plan the change request once it is approved. All the change requests, preventive and corrective measures are feedback into the plan to change the plan or incorporate them into the plan, and then again go for the execution. This keeps happening till all the deliverables are produced. Once that is done, we first close the procurement and then we close the project by documenting lesson learned, archiving all the project details, and transitioning the outcome of the project to the operations. That is what the whole life cycle of the project, and this is how various knowledge areas or the various processes in various knowledge areas actually map onto the project process. Yes, definitely. I will share this sheet with you. So after this session is over, I will send you not only this list, but some more documents also. If you have any question on this sheet, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to the next thing. Okay, so this is the all consolidation of the complete processes distributed in all the knowledge areas and process groups. I have another consolidation of all the formulas. So all the formulas I have compiled in 2 pages. The part estimates were the formulas which are commonly used in the numericals or in calculative questions which come on the exam. So you need not to have this separately written. If you can use this, and it could be a ready reference for you. Normally it is not
Vivek.
asked. Yeah.
Quick question. I was, reading some forums online, and one of the members out there who has passed this exam was giving a recommendation. I just want to check with you regarding that. What he was telling there is like immediately when we get into the exam room, we will be, given a pen and a piece of paper. So the formulas, especially, he was talking about the formulas. We can, do a brain dump onto the papers, on the paper which was given by the exam center. Is it okay, or is it against the rule?
The scrap paper is there, so if you want, you anyway memorize them. You know, only then you can write. So I don't see any.
Especially the ones which you have confusion, or it's the ones which are kind of difficult to remember. We can do a brain dump, at the very early stage of that. I think it's before the exam. I didn't really understand, because he was telling you get 15 minutes for reading something or to go through something, and that 15 minutes he took like 2 or 3 minutes to go through that, and after that he started writing down all the formulas in the piece of paper. So
yeah, it's quite possible, because there are 15 minutes given to read the instructions.
Okay.
So I don't think it will take more than 2-3 minutes to read all these instructions. So 15 minutes is the safer side.
He was telling in that. Yeah, so that's what he was telling in that forum. And so what he was doing, after going through that in a minute or two, he started, writing down the formulas, which he remembered, especially the ones which, because he was telling in the exam you get a lot of questions, mathematical questions, which is related to formulas. So once you are good with the formulas, the chances of getting them are right 100%. So that's one of his recommendations.
You always go and you can write. I don't think there is an issue in that.
Okay.
And if you think that it will improve their performance, you do. So some other formulas are also given, which are normally we do not discuss, because they are not so asked, but they can appear somehow here and there in the options. If you know them, it becomes easier for you to take a selection. Like these payback periods, internal rate of returns. These, they normally appear as one of the options. So if you know them, it becomes easier for you. You were familiar with the term, so it becomes easier for you to pick up the. Also send along with that Excel sheet.
Yes. And, okay. So it will help a lot. Thank you.
When you have to submit your application, you need to submit a good number of details, especially on your projects. So all the project details need to be uploaded onto the application. Though the application has the provision to save intermediately, first consolidate all your details in an Excel sheet, and then go there and copy paste the details there. So for other part of the applications are pretty simple. You might have filled up several application form in your life. It's no different than that. But the project experience reporting sheet could help you in consolidating all your experience on all the projects, and then copy pasting it in the application. It becomes easier for you. So I have prepared this sheet. where all the details which are required in the application form, you can document them here. You can use one block for one project, the second block for, and you can copy as many projects you have. You give the project name, when it is started, when it is ended, what is the start date and end date of the project, what's your role, in which industries belong to, the organization's details. Any contact person name there you have, and project details, how many hours you have spent in initial domain, in planning, in execution, controlling, closing, and then the description, which where you have to define that what actually you produced on the project, what were your deliverables. So if you document this for all your projects, it becomes faster for submit the application. And you need not to be online to do this. So I will send you this sheet as well. It takes a lot of time actually, because to fill this, maybe this may not be difficult, but this becomes a little tricky. You need to this brief description plus spend telling about that how many hours you actually work in particular domain in your project.
Vivek, question.
Yeah.
Once we get registered with PMI and then apply for the exam, do they auto-assign exam date, or that is a third process, we go and we ask for a date to take the exam?
Once they will approve your application, they will send you a list of Prometric centers. You decide on one of the Prometric center, go to the Prometric center site and schedule your exam.
So we schedule our own time.
Right, you schedule the time. They are limited time, so you select one of the slot and go there at that slot and take the exam.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I also remember in the past that I was reading, we can only, like, you were on a project for 1 year and you can only calculate 8 hours a day against that 1 year. Like if you work 10, 12 hours a day and at the end of the year you come up with so many hours, they don't accept that.
I haven't seen any such case there where they have rejected the number of hours you have spent. My take is that whatever the timesheet you have filled, it's valid there. It's not about 8 hours a day. It's about how much hours you have spent on the project. If you're working 24 hours, it's a fact. And all facts are acceptable.
Okay.
So, but Vivek, it's very difficult for to account those hours, how much we worked on each project, because obviously it depends on the project you do. The work I do, I think it's very difficult to account the hours. Even though it depends on the customer. Some customer gives a day off, comp day, comp off. Some even don't allow to put more than 8 hours, for billing. So I think it's going to be a challenge then.
You need not be very precise on reporting this. So I think it's a broader calculation, because if it's a project you have done 5 years ago or 3 years ago or 2 years ago, it is difficult to remember how you report your timesheet. I know that even after 1 week, when I fill a timesheet for one full week, it becomes difficult for me to recollect what exactly I did. Okay,
Correct.
so but what you are reporting should be true, and there are some people who can vet for you, who can witness that you were on the project and you did these kind of work. I think number of hours people EMI normally do not challenge, but they can challenge if they find that it is appearing some kind of weird proposition.
Okay, got it.
So you need not be 100% precise on that, okay, calculating every 1 hour, but you should be as accurate as possible.
Okay, thanks.
If any audit happens, so PMI look for that somebody should be there who can witness your what you have written is right. You can say that, okay, yeah, I can say that whatever is written in this project, it is right. If you have your managers, it's well and good. If you don't have a manager accessible, you can find a colleague who can tell this.
Okay.
And all these project hours should sum up to 4,500 hours, right? Yes, more than minimum 4,500. That's the eligibility criteria. Okay, so to guide the study, I have prepared a simple plan. It's very simple. Anybody can prepare, but I have prepared because most of the people are not preparing. Okay, so how it works, it is very simple if you see. P6. Every day 2 hours. These things can be changed. If you think it is not 6 a.m. in the morning, you are maybe attempting it 8 p.m. in the evening, you can put 8 p.m. and everywhere it changes actually. So you just change first 2 rows, your whole plan will change. Now, what this plan will do? This plan will bring some discipline. It brings a system in place, and it will help you to be disciplined, and you keep marking this. What it demands 2 hours a day and every day. You can have some holidays also. You can it is changeable. You can go and change it. So what it tells that first you review the chapter. So when we say framework, the first 3 chapters are actually talking about frameworks. Then you attempt the questions. Then you review your questions and see that what are the questions you were doubtful and what are the questions did incorrectly. Okay, but this is very critical. So you review each question. So whenever you find that question is doubtful, you mark it that this question is I'm not sure, and the questions attempted incorrectly, you analyze those things and find the answers for them. You review the chapter once again and see that why I am doubtful or I couldn't attempt it correctly. Now this thing is a base for revealing the problems or issues or where I am actually weak, and these are the corrective measures. So if you do only this, the improvement will happen anyway, because the mind is like that, it always look for improvement, but not significant improvement happen. But if you do this and spend a good amount of time on this, I think 2 hours should be sufficient, then your improvement will happen very fast. You attempt a half duration exam, 100 questions, and you attempt. Now you have this the 30 questions for each knowledge area in our quizzes, and 200 questions simulated exam in the quizzes. In coming days, we're going to add more questions in that, and we'll let you know that whenever we are adding new questions, and it will help you to attempt new questions. And we are very careful, we are very in formulating the questions that it really makes sense, very simple, or it, because the simple, difficult and more difficult questions comes, we try to distribute things and should be very particular that the question should be meaningful, and therefore we will be adding them slowly. Okay, Vivek, I think Rajesh had a question. Day 3, 5 and 7 all have time management, maybe need to change integration. Okay. Oh, that's right. So basically this is the integration, this is the scope. Let me do it right. HR, come stakeholder. I will correct this and then send you. So as such, this is very simple, but I hope this will help you to do the study in a systematic way and maintain discipline so that you are good in 1 month. In fact, I have not. You can spend more time in weekends and change this plan accordingly. So for doing question, for selecting question, I have given some references here. So you can use this reference and can attempt more questions outside of what we have already provided you. So these are available at no cost. You can use them. Plus, for the study purpose, I will show you some more references. To study project management, and second thing is preparing for PMP exam. So if you're studying the project management, Harold Karsner's book is pretty good. It's very detailed. In fact, it is too detailed actually. The editions which are given here are aligned with the PMBOK 5th edition. There is another project management, a managerial approach, and this book is also good, though it is not that aligned with PMBOK, but it contains a lot of good and very good information about project management. If you become PMI member, the PMI also has some e-learn kind of thing on the portal, and there are various books available in that e-learn. So when you become member, you can utilize that e-learn. There are many books are there. Some preparation books are also there, which you can utilize. They are part and parcel of the membership. For preparing for PMP exam, I think Rita Mulkey's book is pretty famous, and that's true that it is very helpful.
Vivek, I read a lot of good reviews for Rita Mulcahy. I think her last name is Mulcahy or something, not Mulkey, right?
Could be, I'm not sure if that is.
Yeah, it's Mulcahy or something. MUL, let's say. You can do a Google search and I'll just find it out.
Could be. But it is Rita, but Rita's book on PMP, if you say, most of people know you about it.
MULCAHY.
This is the same book. It's called Rita Makhai.
MULCHAY.
Okay. MULCAHY.
CHAY.
Okay. So it is not K,
I
it
think
is
it's
CH.
pronounced as Rita Makhai.
Okay.
There is no E, Vivek. There is no letter E after H. Yep.
Okay.
AY, I think AY, right? CAHY.
Okay. Anyway, that's not so important for us. So what important is what is written in the book. And the book is good. So doing those, going through the book and reading and attempting the questions which she has provided, they are really good actually. Karsner's book is also aligned with, but it contains too many details besides what you need to prepare for PMP exam. So I will recommend that if you are preparing, they are focused on PMP exam, do not go for this. But if you need some clarifications, you may find a lot of clarification in it because it's a pretty detailed book. One Andy Crow is there, whose book is also pretty good. I've seen that this book is also quite helpful. The only drawback in this book is that he will tell you 10 times that it is very difficult to pass PMP exam, and that's what I really hate. It's not that difficult, the way it is presented in the book, and that's why they're written how to pass in your first try. I tell you, it's a good percentage of people who are passing in first try. Very good percentage. So it's not that difficult. The only thing which you need to ignore in this book is that whenever it comes, it is very difficult. You just ignore it. It's not that difficult. It's not easy, but it's not that difficult also. First head book is also good. You can use this book also, but in the first head website, they have provided 200 questions full length exam to attempt. You can use that also. So you have a system which we have provided. Along with that, if you can like read the book, or if you have some more time, you can read one more book, maybe Andy Crow's book. I think this is more than sufficient. Basically, you have learned most of the things here. If you start from tomorrow up to study this, what you need is more clarifications and some more questions to attempt. So that these books you can use for that purpose. And if you have some clarification, you can post those clarifications to me also, and I will definitely clarify. Do not prepare too much. The over preparation is also a problem. So many people prepare because they're not getting confidence. They keep preparing for months. So that is also not good. So if 1 month you are not getting confidence, please come back to me and ask me that why you are not getting confidence. We'll discuss and we'll find out what is the problem.
So along with the PM box, you suggest the Rita book and these 3 books.
I didn't get you. Can you say it again?
So you suggest these 3 books for exam, PM Walk 1 and Rita and this book.
Yeah, you need not to buy all the books. You can buy 1 or maximum 2 books. Or you can go to your library. I think take from libraries also. If you have a library, use library. Or I normally suggest, if you're working in an organization, suggest your librarian to buy one of these books and use them. Normally librarians have budget to buy books. What I have found, most of the libraries, they're looking for suggestion. They're not like expanded. Most of the places, until unless it is really a tough time for the organization. Yeah, Rita's book was $99 in US. Yeah, it is around. It is an expensive book.
Yeah.
But if you buy this book also, I think this will be around $60 or so. Even that is good.
Vivek, I was reading a PMI portal, and I noticed one thing. Even if you are a member, if you want to get a hard copy of the book, you have to pay around $49. I think close to $50. I'm not sure, or $60.
Absolutely. You need to pay for the hard copy, but online you can read without paying anything.
Okay.
Yeah, online it is available to you.
The soft copies.
Soft copies are there. You can read online only. You cannot download.
Oh, okay.
So but you can read online, and it should be. And I think there are many books are there on eLearn which have lot of questions. So you can. Online is not a problem. You to need something to be reading offline, then PMI's website is pretty good as well. Many books are available actually.
Okay.
So if you're really serious, want to apply, I think you become member and fix a date, maybe 1 month down the line, maximum 2 months down the line. Don't delay anymore, otherwise you will start losing what you have learned here. To spend more time to understand and read than you really need now. Okay. I will send this also to you. Okay, so yesterday Rajesh was asking about the webinar, being a manager, the difference between technical and when the technical people move into manager. So with respect to workshop, I have almost everything I have like explained to you. Now those things are become more practical, more to do with working on the job, on the desk, and steering your project than actually TMP exam. But all those things ultimately help you understand the overall project management. So if you have any question related to this, I take up. Otherwise, I will move to that webinar which I did some time back. I will take you through those PPT, those points which I actually discussed during that time. Very good. In details. Okay, yes. The Rita book is good.
So Vivek, have a question.
Yes.
Yes. So maybe it's a dumb question, Vivek, but I would like to ask that. So when we study for these certifications, no matter technical or management, so there will be some document which talks about the foundations, right? So the foundation, and it recommends that your foundations to be strong. So here, do you recommend any? I know we have process groups. So do you recommend any of them as as a foundation, so that we can build everything upon them? Or I am not sure about the approach. So my question is whether we have to concentrate on any solid things, like obviously on process groups, so that whatever we are building on top will be stable.
Okay. See, I tell you, this PM work given a structure. Now this structure is a complete structure of the project management, but people have to use this structure. And depending upon the nature of the project, different part of the structures are used. So not everything is important in all the projects, but different things are important in different projects.
So I mean from an exam perspective. I mean from an exam perspective also.
Exam perspective, I think everything is important here. Because the like initiation process group is small, so there less number of questions are coming. planning is the biggest, so a lot of questions come from planning and execution also. Because, and when you talk about execution, it is morely resource management most of the time. And then controlling and the full length of a lot of processes in the controlling. So a lot of questions come from control. Closure anyway is small, so few questions come from closure. I tell you the most of the challenge people face in risk management, in human resource management, in sometimes in communication, though the communication is a smaller one, but wherever there is a softer part come into picture, the people's performance is little low.
Yeah, I agree. That's what we take things for granted and end up in on wrong answers. So
yeah, even understanding a structure becomes challenge actually in this, because no structure fits absolutely there. So those places are little challenging. And once you follow this this exam schedule or this preparation schedule, you discover that how many questions you are making wrong in very in different areas. And PMP exam doesn't, after the exam, it doesn't tell you that how much you scored actually. It just tell you pass or fail.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't give you score.
How soon do you know the result of the exam?
I think immediately.
You are asking that when you get the result of the exam?
Yes. Is it right after the taking exam or?
As soon as you submit, you will be your result will be flashed on the screen.
Oh my God. Okay, that's good and scary.
You will get the sheet and the certification later, but you will get the result immediately as soon as you submit the exam.
I mean, that's great if you pass.
So I is asking, is there any time limit to complete the full length exam? 200 questions. You're talking about the exam we have made available on the portal. Yes, 4 hours. So actually it doesn't matter that how much you score. You should score more than 61%. That's all. And 61% means 39% you can make wrong, which is a very good number as such. So only if you have prepared poorly, only then you will not pass. If you are little serious about taking this exam, I think it does.
Yeah, I was referring to validity of the exam. It's I know it takes 4 hours to complete 200 questions, but what about the validity of the exam? Is it limited for a duration? After that, if you expire, will not be able to take the exam or something like that.
There is means once you have submitted your application, you have to take exam within 1 year.
No, I was talking about the 4 hours. As part of the training, they want to open up a full-length exam, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't get
does it have a validity so does it have a validity 1 month or 2 months to complete the exam?
You're talking about our preparation portal. Is that? Rajesh, are you asking about the preparation portal? Where the quizzes are available and the question and the exam is made available? Simulated exam? Yes, okay. So that is available to you 3 months. Everything, the recordings, the quizzes, the exam is available to you up to 3 months from the from the 1st of April. So April, May, June. Okay. And whatever the additional things will come, they will also be made available to you as soon as they are added. And we will also inform you about it. Okay, so let me take you through this one presentation which I did some time back, and that actually talks about what is mean being a manager, basically being a project manager. So I did this webinar on November 2013. You know why, what happens actually? No company recruits trainee project managers. It is always be technical people or business analysts. I consider them also technical because they are technical in terms of business analysis. They become project manager one day. The whole issue is that a technical person becoming a project manager is an incident. Automatically happen, or people are happy with your performance, will make you project manager. It's not a very planned effort. That person has to be made project manager. Then it's something start a year back or something like that, and then the person become project manager. It's not happening like that. It's not a very planned effort. In some companies, there is some planning happening. So what happens, the people who are looking for project manager or who going to be promoted to project manager, they go through a week program or 2 weeks of program. Okay, and then we think that they become project manager. What we are trying to do through this trainings that trying to change the habits which are normally die hard and their natural tendency, which never happens through trainings. People have considered trainings absolutely incorrectly. The training is a starting point, is to know about what can happen. Okay. So trainings are the starting point. So now here, if you have taken this training, it's a starting point. It's not an ending point. You're not become a person. You will become if you use this knowledge, practice this into your work, and study more about it. You become more and better. So this is not ending. Training is not finishing things. Training is starting the things. So what happens actually, that people expect that in some certain years you become project manager, or you become technical but take additional responsibility of project manager. Or the best part is that you stay technical but you are also doing managerial, but you don't know you are doing managerial job also, because your designation, the file around is technical, but you are managing 10 people's team. So even the senior architect is managing a team of 5 architects, need a managerial skill to manage this a team of 5 people. Now, being an architect, he never goes through the managerial trainings or the grooming exercise. While the management is a totally different ball game than a technical. Why it is a different ball game? Because there are very different. There are many differences in that. What is the expertise of a technical expert? You will solve some problems, solve some technical problems. What it requires is you getting into the depth of the matter, trying to find out everything and then solving it. So you are working on one job at a time and getting into the depth. But the man always having so many things in his plate, trying to manage the breadth of the project, not the depth. The technical person by nature and by need of the job is a detail oriented. The manager cannot go into details of everything, otherwise he can look only in one or two things, because that's what a person can do. So you need to get into a detail only need base. Now here the person tendency is to enjoy the work. Here the person normally enjoy with the people. The more so, you have a team. You will find some, if you organize something, suppose say a party, etc. Some people take more interest, some people will not take interest. Some people you find once they have sit in front of the computer, they will sit there and until the problem is solved, they will not go away. And some people you will find they cannot sit in front of the computer or they're on their desk for more than an hour or so, or 2 hours. They have to go out, have a coffee or talk to someone and then come back and then. This is the nature of the person. Normally technical person is working on one item at a time. The manager is working on several items at a time. There has a long list of things. In fact, whenever I am talking to new, so many things, they don't know what to do first. And everything is open in front of them. Everything is running. They do the work, they get the work done. Here the work needs to be done by the person. Here he has to get the job done from the other people. He has to motivate himself to do the job. He has to motivate others because he has to get the job done from the others. He achieves, he gets a patent, he gets some kind of recognition that he has done X, Y, Z. While this person has to see that the whole team should run. And because of these changes, when the technical experts move from this place to this place, it's not so easy, but there are, and the trainings also which are being done, they do not address all those things. And these things cannot change in a day or two or in a week or 2 weeks. So what is the anomalies in the system are there? You just look at why we have good managers in less numbers. Education is employment oriented. And as we said, nobody takes trainee project managers, so most of the people are going into technical education. To manage the things, you must have experience, because until you have experience in some managing some or doing some technical work, you cannot manage it. That's the perception, right? But what happens to get the experience? You have to be technical person. If you are a people-oriented person, not the concentrating, you do not have that much of high concentration of particularly working on particular thing. You need to every 1 hour, 2 hours you need a break and talk to somebody. You may not be having you may not be a good technical person. You are more people oriented. This slows down your path to manager. On the other side, if you are a technical oriented, you may not be a good manager, but you will be performing very good. It will enhance your path to manager. So more and more technical people become managers while they have lesser and lesser skills of managing the project or people around. Okay, so if you face a difficult situation first time, you don't know how to act or what to do, you know what happens? You copy some of the people around you. So suppose at home, when you facing some of the problems, what you remember that if my father would be in my place, what they would have done, and then I copy his action, or whatever I think he would have done, I will do. The same thing happens in the work. You see your manager. If my manager would be here, what he would have done, you do exactly that. Basically copy, because you don't have any clue what to do exactly in situation. What does that mean? If your manager is good, you take a good decision. Or your manager has set a good example, you take a good decision. And if your manager has set a bad example, you're going to take a bad decision. What does that mean? That if you dislike your boss, you will become like your boss even now, even then. Because in the absence of any guidance, you will copy unless you are very you have decided that you will not go this way. Okay, something is happening to me, my boss is not treating me well, but I will not do the same thing with my people. But normally it doesn't happen that way. In case of cluelessness, in the case when the time is when we have pressing time, we have a lot of pressure in this. We have very little time to act. We have little option except to repeat the action of my boss, because that is appreciated by my boss also, because he is doing the same way. If you take a different decision, you will find that you are doing something different, and it will become a challenge for you to convince him also. So what to be done actually? We need to see that how to move from this situation to this situation. This is what the difference is. As technical person, you are here. You need to move here. Look at the breath. Most of the project managers who are new project managers facing challenges here, because they get into the detail of everything, because that's how they are doing as of now. While their responsibility is because they become a project manager, that they have to look at the entire scope of the project, because they are responsible for it. And they need to get into the details only when it is required. So what you need to do, what a technical person has to do, that he has to give away looking into the depth of every matter and get into the habit of looking at the complete thing, having a bird eye view. You know, most of the places a big picture is missing, because manager is not able to take a correct decision because the big picture is missing. He's not looking at all the aspects of the things, and selectively getting into the depth like this. Wherever there is a problem, you need to look and only that thing. But if we are not experienced enough, we do not do this thing also very well. What happens? We get into the details of every matter, try to, because that's our habit. And because we are pressed with the time, because we don't have that much time to get into the details, we are having very less time. And in less time, we try to question the person. And when we question the person, we actually question its capability of doing the things. So when a person who is working on this particular thing, particular item, when we start questioning, we question in the question, if we are not careful, we will be questioning his capability. And if we question the capability of the person, he gets demoralized because his credibility is on the question. We try to prove that he is not so incredible. He's credible, he can do this. We try to continuously prove this, and we go into kind of argument. We have to get into the habit of investigative detailing. Investigative, we have to show the person that you trust the capability of the person, and you're not bothered about the capability of the person, but you're bothered about the problems, and you focus on the problems, not the personality. You ask investigative questions. What is exactly happening on the ground, not why the person take XYZ decision. When you ask about the why you do this, why you do this, it questions the capability of the person. When you ask the question that, okay, what happens after that? What happens after that? Okay, who provided the information? So you are talking about the problems on the ground. And that matters a lot, because first thing will demoralize the person. The second thing actually increase the morale of the person, because he is seeing you as a helping hand who will provide some kind of support, help. See, most of the managers, when you are managers, you approach your manager for help. Most of the managers will not help you. They will give you further challenges by asking you, have you done this? Have you done this? Did you try to do this? And definitely one or two things you might have not done. And then they will tell you that why you have not done this. Then you start questioning your things, why you have not done that. Any senior person can ask 10 questions to his junior, and definitely one thing can be found which the junior person would have not done. And then you can take this and blame everything on him because he has not done the one thing. This scraps the whole environment. The second thing is that we need to move from the enjoy work to being with the people. What needs to be done for this? We need to limit our time in the cubicle, sitting in front of the computer and on the desk. We have to enforce some kind of discipline on us, reserving some time every day for meeting people. You know, most of the problem which occurs in the project, they're already known to the team members, but they don't tell because nobody asks or nobody talk to them. So they are not very comfortable in telling the problems. Otherwise, they are seen as a problematic people. So nobody wants to damage this picture. They remain silent. But if you are talking to them, if you are continuously have a good relations with them and you have informal them, they will normally share all these details informally. They will never tell you formally. When the discussions are not happening, when there is a channel is only formal, people will not put things to you because it becomes formal. And you decide to meet 1, 2, 3 people every week. At least you can meet one person and for length, that is at least for half an hour, talk to him. None of the project manager is doing this. Even the managers, some managers are not doing it. In fact, the project manager is copying his manager. His manager never asks him to sit with him and discuss several things. So why he will ask? Isn't it? Most of the people copy their managers. Build informal relations. That is what going to work. We need to build a network. Network works when you are both the cases, the network always. Network is about building informal relationship with the people around. And some of the way we can increase our reach or increase or improve our network is volunteering for a common cause. You know, in any organization, in any project or any organization, there are several things to be done, but there is nobody who will do this. You can take initiative, you can collect people, you can form a group and say, okay, let's try to resolve this issue or try to remove this. There are several hurdles. If you spend some time, you can be, but everybody is busy in own time, in own work. Nobody looks on these things. But if you do it, you get noticed by everyone. Or the group, when you form a group to do this, when people work together to solve a problem, they come together much closer than shaking hands, than having a cup of tea together. When they work together, they become close friends, especially on the things which are not, for which you are not accountable, but you do. So try to continuously look for some improvement, some area, something which you can go an extra mile and solve those things. Now, this thing is the biggest problem for all new project managers, even the old project managers also, old managers also, all senior managers also. Managing a long list of tasks. Don't know what to do. Earlier, you used to work on one task, 2 tasks, 3 tasks maximum. But now there is a sequence of tasks. They are not ending. This list is not ending. This is increasing day by day. So prepare a to-do list. First thing. This is the first step. This is not the last step. Many people do a to-do list and that becomes the last step for them. They always do. Just making to-do list is not important. You have to look into what is getting into to-do list. What you have written in the to-do list is also important. Prioritize your task. Act on the most important first. And you see, looking at the beware of urgent, if you prepare a to-do list with all urgent items, then your to-do list is just a regular stuff. Because most of the urgent items are regular stuff. Most compliance. What your to-do list should comprise of is what is important for you. Not what is just in front of you. What is in front of you will anyway do it. What you will not do is what is important but not urgent. Like exercise. Simple example is exercise. Exercise is important for everyone, but it is not urgent. So your to-do list should contain that every day I have to do 1 hour. I should spend 1 hour on exercise, because that will help you stay away from the hospital. Otherwise, you will land in one of the hospital one day to keep avoiding the exercise. And spend more time in repairing yourself than you would have spent in exercises. And learn the art of delegation. You know, delegation is fantastic thing. We need to identify people who can do my job or some of my work. You know, if you identify a person who has a potential to do such kind of things and you download this work to him, not because you are overloaded, because you want to delegate, because you want to keep yourself free for some time so that you can think more and want to improve the capability of the people. The person who has potential to do it, if you delegate some of the tasks to him, he that person will have more efforts in doing that and improve his capabilities, and you will get a more capable person in your team. And this is, if this is in sequence, like that person delegate his job to next person, the whole team actually improves. Delegation is very, very important, and many people don't do it because they have a fear. They fear that, okay, if they give, they will spend a lot of time to train the person, and it's better I should do it because it will take less time. But once you train the other person, you always get rid of this work with you. People don't think. Earlier we were working. Now people are working for us. Do you have a presentation, some sort of training or delegation? I have built a process. I will show you that process. Maybe I will send you that. It's a one PPT, one slide actually. I built a process that how you can delegate, and there are a lot of benefits of delegation. Now earlier we were part of the team, so somebody is looking after us, but now we have to look after a lot of people because people have aspirations. People have come for a purpose in the project. People have not come to the project to do your work. They also have to achieve something. People don't think about it. See, we have taken the people on the project. We think that they have come here to do my job. No. They are finding something common where they can perform your work, but as well as achieve what their aspirations are. And if we are not attending their aspirations, they will get reluctant in the project. They will become disinterested in the project. They will try to leave the project. Or even if they are in the project, they will not do the work from the heart. We should ask question, why someone reports to me? Have you ever asked? Somebody is reporting to me. What they are expecting from me to do? I am expecting a lot from them to do, but what they are expecting from me? How myself and project can help team members to grow? That everybody wants. And in the project, 6-month project, they come in the project and giving them back. The life is reciprocative, right? You give me something and I give you something. What is in it for me? This is what on everyone's head. Everyone, including you, me, have somewhere in mind that whenever I do something, I see that how this is going to benefit me. Sometimes we term them as hidden agendas. They are not so bad. Hidden agenda looks like a very bad term, but they are not so bad because everybody has it. Many times we have something to achieve, but we cannot speak about it. That is called hidden agenda. That is written. So people will speak something, we will understand what they will speak, but what we need to understand is what they did not speak. The lines, there is something between the lines. That we need to understand, and that is what will reveal that what is in it for me, they think. And if you address that, they will find that you are the best person on the team because you understand what they never told you. The same with customer also. If you understand what they have never told, they will become very happy. I will not tell you, but you understand what I actually want. And this is an art. Need to be learned. Need to be practiced. Okay, earlier I say that, okay, I have to motivate myself to do the job, but now it is not. It is all about all people. We have to do. So the main thing, as I said in the human resource, that more you use your legitimate power, your formal powers, bad managers you will become. More you use your earned powers, better manager you will become. Punishment is a formal power. Try not to use it. It never motivates, it only demoralizes the person. The ratio between appreciation and the punishment should be 10:1. It means you will become eligible to punish the person only if you appreciate the person 10 times. You know, nobody is so poor if he is surviving in the project team that cannot be appreciated. But we ignore all those incidences. What we pick up, where the person is not performing, where he made a mistake, and we are very prompt in giving them punishment instead of appreciating every small success. So you identify all small places where the person has small successes and appreciate the person 10 times to become eligible to punish him. You are not eligible to punish the person if you have not appreciated 10 times. That's the formula. Give direction, provide help, and remove obstacles. Don't try to push. If the people come for the help or they need some kind of support, see that what is the obstacles. You remove that obstacle. Once you remove the obstacles, they will see you doing that and learn how to remove obstacles. Provide help. When you provide help, they learn how to provide help. They learn what you do actually. People learn by seeing you in action. And then delegate. But delegation motivates the people. We need to cherish at that time. Earlier, we were alone, I was individual contributor. We were telling, okay, we have achieved A, B, C, D. But now it is all about team. The team has to win. What we need to do? Take up every opportunity to cherish. We often ignore such opportunities. Define milestones and celebrate achievement. You know, some in projects, some milestones are already there, but they are at distance. What we need to do, we need to create intermediate milestones which can be celebrated. So we need to create opportunities for celebrations. Just don't wait for some opportunity to come or some milestone to come and we celebrate. No, you need to create opportunities for celebration every now and then. So the project will become a fun project execution. People will like to come to this project. Don't wait for excellent result. Keep rewarding people for small things. The last thing, you know, something which I learned some time back. One thing is Gyan Karm Upasana. That translate in English like this: the knowledge, work, and worship. So the training give you knowledge. It is from where you start. Then you act on it. And then you worship it. So first is know-how that comes from training by providing some knowledge through books or through trainings like that. Then we need to act on it. Without acting on it, we cannot take benefits of that knowledge. The knowledge is a dormant knowledge which is not in action. And then we have to practice it. More we practice, more we become master in that. Because the practice makes the person perfect. And let me tell you, you will never be perfect. You have to practice throughout the life. And without these three things, without knowledge you cannot act. The action without knowledge is actually stupid actions. So first you have to know before you act. And if you are practicing some incorrect things, you become a bad person instead of good person. So know-how is very, very important before you act and practice. And this goes into the same sequence. The sequence cannot be changed. First know-how, understand from the books, from other people, from successful people, from training, etc. That's why training is a starting point, not ending point. Then act on it. Identify some actions from you, how you can implement this knowledge, and then practice. Make you perfect in project management. Okay, this is okay.
Thanks, Vivek. That was really nice.
That's nice. Thank you. I did a webinar actually. For some time I have not done a webinar now.
No, that was really nice, Vivek. I think I've been practicing and I really see a lot of similar things happening, and you provided me some answers, at least to some of the questions which always were intriguing me. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Most welcome. I can share this. I have already shared actually. So this on the YouTube channel of pmwares. This is already there in public domain. So I will send the PPT as well.
And very practical.
It has come from practice actually. I have that.
Thank you. Thanks.
And trading is very bookish actually. They don't address such things.
And as you rightly pointed out, everything is people management finally.
At the end of the day, it is people management. It becomes more important because people's behavior is unpredictable.
True.
You need to manage it. Other things are predictable.
That's what I keep. People who have come from the industry and then come into IT, especially will feel the difference, because machines don't revolt. Machines don't, they work without any problem. But when it comes to people, you have to manage them.
Yeah, people are not machines. They don't give you exactly the same result all the time.
True, absolutely.
Vivek, I just have one question on this. We were talking about delegation, right?
Right.
And as per this presentation, we were trying to discussing that we need to delegate the work. That's the kind of art of project management or whatever. Right? But I feel at some point, if you go with this approach, I think all activities of work pressure will be delegated and finally goes down to the lowest level of engineers, and it would be a burden for them to work on it, right? So we were talking about the delegation of activity, and it goes down the chain to the lowest level of engineer. It could be a software engineer would be actually working on the core activities. But I would think it should, delegation should happen, but at the same time it should be distributed uniformly based on the kind of activity that needs to be performed. Normally I've seen a couple of managers where they actually delegate all the activity, all the tasks what they identify as part of or rest, and finally blame the end engineer who's kind of holding a lot of pressure in terms of doing the day-to-day activity along with the additional work that is being assigned to him. So rather, I think he should the higher management should distribute the kind of pressure and then allow the engineer to work on his core activities.
Right. Actually, what you are saying is absolutely true, but they are not good managers. First of all, we should remember that by blaming someone, the work will not happen. So, if we are delegating, ensuring success is our job, not the person to whom we have delegated. People think that we have delegated, now the success of this work is other person's responsibility. No, it is your work. You have delegated. You can delegate work, you can't delegate the responsibility. So ultimately, it is, even now, it is your responsibility to make it work. I think someone has, I think mute yourself, so then this echo will not happen. So that is what we need to understand, that most of the delegation what is happening is because the manager is overflowing. So overflowing things, if you have downloaded some other person, it's not delegation. It is you are burdening the other person with your work. Because you don't have any time, you can't support the other person. Either that person even don't know how to do the work, then he will struggle even more. The work will not happen. So because the manager is mismanaged, he doesn't know how to manage his own work, he has downloaded the work to the other person, it's going to be in mess. So delegation is a well thoughtful, very strategic action. It's not like downloading the work. So delegate means I identify that whatever work I have, I need to see that where I am weak. Let's say where I am weak, where I do not enjoy doing the work. Maybe somebody else will do better than me, even though he is not so capable. So I try to find out person who has a potential to do that, and then sit with this person, try to explain this, how this work to be done, and then have a follow-up continuously. Every week, how this person is going, every day how is going, depending upon what is the duration of the work. Every day, how the person, what kind of support I can give. You know, your time, spending time and training the person. Without training, people are not going to do. It will be like this. Without know how you are asking him to act, he will do some stupid job. So you have given the work, but you have to provide know-how also, and see that this know-how he has really got it, and in action he is correctly implementing. Once or two iterations are done, then you can rely on this person. This person's capability has been improved. This is, so much thought is not happening in delegation. That is not delegation actually. That is a downloading the work because you are overflowing. That is most of the time we are talking delegation. We are telling it delegation. It is not delegation.
Very well said, Vivek. I feel I can't wait to put these things in practice. It's like a kind of, this thing will really change the way I work from now onwards.
That will happen. That will
yeah, I studied MBA, and to be honest, I learned more valuable things this session than the frameworks I studied in the college. Really glad that I attended this.
See, the thing is that these are more practical things. Even the PMBOK is practical, but it's a structure. You need a person to make it work. So the structure will work as good as the person is. Project management. It is everything in the structure about the project management. Project management go beyond this also. See, PMBOK says prepare a risk register, and this is what can be the structure of the risk register. But risk register, in the risk register, the risk will go when you identify a risk. if you do not have the capability to identifying a risk, what will go into the risk register? The crap. And you see that 90% of the risk register do not have any critical risk. In fact, the risk which is actually hit the project and damaged it, those risks are never found into risk register because the project manager never identified that. So what the risk register structure will do in this? Okay, I think there was a question when I was doing this this presentation about the exam. Okay, how about the training certification? You will mail a soft copy or hard copy? No, we will mail you a PDF. So this will happen because this course I understand up to 3rd April, because there is some work for you also to do it. So you have to attempt quizzes, you have to attempt the exam, the 4 hours exam. So this till 3rd of April, you have time to do this. I will go and see the details who have attempted and will take your records of how much, where, in which sessions you were there, how many hours you have really spent here. And if there is something up and down, I will let you know about it. And I will give you an opportunity that how you can compensate it. Okay. So because here everything is electronic, everything is getting recorded over the thing. So it is not like you signed on register and go away from the class, still it may work. Okay, so I will see that you are, I think most of you were there in all the sessions, and I think you have, once you attempt all the quizzes also, your 36 hours are done. So you have time till 3rd of April. I will create certificate only after 3rd of April. Okay, so please check this out. If you please do a calculation on your with your pen and paper, that how many, like, is there any hours lacking somewhere? Please let me know, because I will calculate all these things after 3rd of April.
Vivek, just a small question.
Yeah.
If we just want to spend a couple of days to study, because during the weekday for me it is very difficult since it's a 4-hour exam. Can I take the exam sometime over the weekend, next weekend, and then you can issue me a certificate? That's fine, is it? At least for, in cases where, because for me certificate.
Yeah, certificate is important. So I'm absolutely fine.
So,
we can create the certificate on Monday also. Maybe.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Maybe after 6.
Because I may just have. I would also prefer to study a bit before I take the exam. That's why I just asked you.
So I can create the certificate after 6 also. I think you also need that certificate only when you apply for PMP exam. So 1 or 2 or 3 days will not make any difference.
Okay, thank you.
So you have time till next weekend.
Yeah.
Anything which is left over at your end, please cover up all these things. So I will take all the records on 6th of April. Then. I hope it is agreeable to all the people. The certificate will be a PDF and it will be emailed to you. All the details which you need to fill in the PMP certification or PMP application are there in the certificate. have any question? Any further, anything which is unclear as of now?
There aren't any major questions, but I hope we all will still be in touch through the LinkedIn group or through the email.
Definitely, I think you should stay in touch, and through the group, I will create this group in a day or two.
For your additional mile in explaining the concepts apart from the project management, like the differences what we discussed today, and a lot of conversation. It's good. It's good amount of information that I could get to know about it. Thanks very much.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks all of you.
Welcome you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody. I think our last session. So I think we'll catch up on the LinkedIn at least.
Yes.
And we'll meet sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Thanks guys. Bye.
Thank you.
I think that's good.
For the best.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Bye bye.